the United stand. Gareth Bale has hinted at a move to Manchester United after scoring that wonder goal against the Scousers. Karius is a fantastic keeper, isn't he? You know what? We've got to rub it in. You've got to rub it in. The reality is their season is no better than ours. Oh, you lost the Champions League final. So bloody what? You finished behind us in the league. You get nothing for second place. And we dodged a massive bullet because if they'd won that game, we would have been taking the L for at least 5 years. If they'd won it without Salah, you can double that. We would have took it for 10 years. But fair play to Liverpool. They've just shown again that a one-man team, I've not seen it since 86 with Maradona, that a one-man team can take you all the way to the final. But forget about that. Gareth Bale's overhead kick was probably the complete overhead kick I've ever seen. To do that in a Champions League final was absolutely stunning. Would you take Gareth Bale at Manchester United? That's the question tonight. He was spoken to after the game about his future, and he said, I feel I should be playing every week. Clearly not happy that he didn't play in the final. I feel I should be playing every week, and I'll speak with my agent over the summer. To me, that's a player who doesn't seem very happy with Real Madrid. Now, I actually didn't have a problem with him not starting tonight. I mean, why should I care whether he starts or not? But I did think, well, it's set for Bale, the way he's playing at the moment, to come on and impact that game. And he did. And the Karius, I love Karius. I think, you know what? I really love De Gea, but my favourite goalkeeper at the moment is Karius for Liverpool. He is brilliant, isn't he? He is absolutely. He's the gift that keeps on giving. I've never seen a performance like that. He will have the fraud squad after him tonight. I mean, that was just on another level. One of the best performances I've ever seen. But the first goal from Gareth Bale was on another planet. I think the issue with Gareth Bale is how much you'd have to pay for him now. I don't actually think Real Madrid will want to get rid of him. He's just won them. He's just won them an historic 3 Champions Leagues in a row. He won them that game. They were poor tonight. Ronaldo was missing. Isco was quiet. They were very, very poor compared to how they can play against a very poor Liverpool team. But Bale came on and absolutely owned it. And if Bale's now, I think Bale's in a very strong position. I think Real Madrid will probably want to keep him. But if Bale was to leave Real Madrid, of course, then Manchester United will be at the top of that queue. Of course they will. And would you take Gareth Bale at Manchester United? That's my comments to you. Would you take Gareth Bale at Manchester United? Because I've always said that Gareth Bale is still one of the top 5 players in the world. And in the past, that's been sort of knocked down. I've had people saying, you're absolutely wrong, that's not right. But he is. He's still one of the best players in the world, Gareth Bale. The problem is his age and his injury record isn't brilliant. And Wales aren't in the World Cup because of Gareth Bale, because they had that playoff back in, was it September, October time against Ireland. Bale didn't play and they lost. And that's the problem. If you sign Gareth Bale, is he going to be there for you in those big games? I think that Gareth Bale is a very, very good player, and I'm somewhat on the fence. I mean, Claude says no. Martial for Bale, says Francis. I would never do that because Gareth Bale's knocking on 30 and Martial's 22 and will be what Gareth Bale was at 25. But I would. I actually am going to be honest and say that I think Manchester United before tonight probably had a chance of signing Gareth Bale for about 60 million quid. I think what he's just done there, he's probably just knocked his fee up to 80. And I think as great as those goals were tonight, especially the first one, £80 million for somebody who's going to be 29 this year is too much money. And he is very injury prone. And Real Madrid Andres just said that apparently, thanks for the contribution, that they compared Karius to David De Gea. Oof, God knows. I'm not in my normal surroundings because I'm actually away tonight, which if anybody watched the watch along on That's Football, they'll testify to. But would I take Gareth Bale at Manchester United? I mean, ultimately, if it means selling Martial, I'd still say no. I mean, all he's done is score an overhead kick against Liverpool. I mean, let's be honest, their goalkeeper was crap. But I think what he has done as well is shown that he is a world-class talent. But the fact that he still misses a lot of time through injury is still very, very relevant. I don't know, it's a very difficult one. I think Mourinho would love to sign him. I think he'd really love to sign him now. But I still think that those United fans who say we're a little bit short-termism in the signings, well, Gareth Bale probably would be that. But you cannot move away from the fact that he said that straight after a game that he's won for Real Madrid. I'm not happy with that season. I should be playing more often than I should than I am, and I should have started tonight. And Isco disappeared. Isco's a good player, but Isco did disappear. And Bale, his form in the last couple of weeks, he probably should have started. But Yeah, I think watch this space with Gareth Bale. Watch this space. Would you take him? Get comments in below. Drop a like on the video on that. But we're not done. You're not welcome on the United stand, by the way. You're not done. Kids floating around who ambushed my That's Football thing, which is fine on That's Football, but this is the United stand. And as for Liverpool, look, I do think there is an element of there is a massive element of small-mindedness by gloating at the fact Liverpool have lost this. But there's a massive amount of small-mindedness in a rivalry anyway. And the reality is, I stand firm to what I've always said. If this was United tonight and we'd lost to 3-1 to Real Madrid, Liverpool fans would be ribbing us. And the reality is, as the tweet on the United Stand MUFC says, Liverpool fans tonight have won the Champions League 5 times and they're in a cave. Ronaldo has won the Champions League 5 times and he's kissing the cup. And that's the thing. Ronaldo is a United legend and he's won the Champions League as much as they have. But it was Bale who won it tonight. It was Bale who won it tonight. I mean, Klopp did what Klopp does. Klopp bottles finals. I didn't want to say any of this before the final because it can come back and bite you. Of course it can. But Klopp does what Klopp does. Bottle finals. That's what he does. And Liverpool, they didn't even have a nosebleed in that final. They were like the, it was like being invited to the royal wedding when you've got no right to be there. It's like they were totally out of place. And I know Salah got injured early on, and obviously Salah's had a good season for them, but that just shows you that what a one-man team they are. They were dreadful. I mean, they did well to get the one goal. They were absolutely dreadful. And there's somebody in the live comments saying they only lost because Salah got injured. I love that comment. I absolutely love that comment. And do you know why I really love it? Because in 20 years' time, it will say Real Madrid 3-1. It won't say Real Madrid 3-1 in brackets, Salah got injured in the first half. No one gives a damn. No one gives a damn that Salah got injured. You lost the game. And the fact that you feel the need to hide behind that just shows what a one-man team you are. You're a one-man. And it was proved tonight. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And in the cold light of day, it's not just United fans. There's City fans tonight who are absolutely ecstatic because they've won a title now, and being the best team in England actually means something because it's not been put in the shade by Champions League winners. Liverpool got very lucky. They did well to beat Man City. They deserved to beat Man City, but Klopp has schooled Pep all season. Porto are dreadful, and Roma were even worse. And they ended up in a Champions League final with 90 minutes to produce something miraculous, and they could never do it. They couldn't do it. So I'm ecstatic. And I actually think, in a rivalry point of view, because I know many Liverpool fans would say the same, Mark Robinson's right, Liverpool have got no plan B. A lot of Liverpool fans would say the same as what I'm about to say now. I would rather Liverpool went all the way to the final and lost like that than get knocked out in round one. It's more satisfying in a rivalry to watch them, Carragher and all the Liverpool fans drunk and singing last night, all this expectation. It's like popping a balloon, isn't it? Popping someone's balloon. They will be absolutely gutted. And that's nice to know because they were all over us last week when we lost the FA Cup, and they can magnify that by 10 times. So, yeah, we'll rub the salt in the wounds because that's what the rivalry is all about. And maybe next year they'll be doing it to us, but it swings and roundabouts. It's called football rivalry, and back of the net. But Klopp bottles big finals. He always has. And Liverpool without Salah are just a very average team. But that goalkeeping performance tonight, hysterical, absolutely hysterical. But that overhead kick from Bale was probably the best goal I've seen in a final for a long time. I mean, I've seen good goals, but Rooney's overhead kick against Man City was very good, but he did slightly shin it. Bale's one was in the box, and how he gets the power and loop on that is just stunning. I mean, technique-wise, that's brilliant. And he scored a very good goal in the Champions League group stage. I think it was against Dortmund on the bounce where he volleyed it into the top corner on a half volley. He's got a fantastic technique, Gareth Bale. And he is still one of the top 5 players in the world. The problem with Bale is injuries. And I think he will go. But Chelsea might fancy it. Would he go to Chelsea having been at Spurs? I don't think Spurs can afford him. Maybe there's only 2 clubs he can go to, I think. Well, there's only 2 places he can go, Premier League or PSG. PSG look like they're going to get financial fair play, so it's got to be Premier League. If it's Premier League, can Spurs afford him? Don't think so, because of the new stadium, and they've never done that sort of thing. Would he go to Chelsea, having played for Spurs? Maybe he would, but maybe he wouldn't. Would Man City want him? I don't think so. So Manchester United's the logical one. But to get Bale, I think you have to lose Martial, and that's probably not something I'm willing to do. But very satisfying night, and very interesting night as well, because Gareth Bale is a player I've always said I don't like the comment. We've spoken about Gareth Bale many times over the 3 years we've been doing the United Stand. He always gets mentioned as a transfer target, but I do like Gareth Bale. I would welcome him at Manchester United. I wouldn't welcome him for Martial. I do agree with the injury concerns, but what I don't agree with is people who say I don't want Bale because I don't think he's good enough. He is one of the top 5 players in the world on his day. He's a fantastic player. And at Spurs, he single-handedly won them games. He looks like he's going to move. Looks like he's going to move. Or what's more likely is, though, even if he wants to move now, Real Madrid can say he's just scored 2 goals in a Champions League final. We want 80 million. And who's going to pay that for him? Who is going to pay that? But Bayern won't pay for him, Mark Labanaf. I agree with you. And what about Ramos's performance? I think Sergio Ramos is a good centre-back, and I disagree that he did that on purpose. I think he's just... I think he could have made it worse. Any chance we can get... sorry, what was that? Andres, thanks for the contribution. After Jose, any chance we can get Zidane? I think Zidane is a fantastic manager, because Real Madrid don't play well every week, and he gets the best out of those players, and it's not really a Galactico team anyway. Zidane's done very well at Real Madrid, but like Pep, I'd like to say that he'd do better. I'd happily sell Sanchez for Bale. And David De Goat says, Mark Ronaldo's comments. Oh, God, maybe we're doing another video. I'll go and have a watch. Thanks, everyone, for watching. This is the Gareth Bale video. I'm now going to go and have a look what Ronaldo said. I might be back live in a minute. Speak to you soon.